right, welcome back to another episode of Tiff Talks. Today we have a very special guest. She is a wife, a mother, attorney by day, and baker by night, Cassandra Burnett.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here with you, Tiff. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, and thank you for submitting your story on my website. I really appreciate that. When I read it and I heard about the Hey Girl Conference, I was like, oh yes, this is right up our alley, and I'm so happy that you were able to come here, and in a timely manner too, because your conference is coming up, right?
It is. It's coming up in Philadelphia on May 13th. And let me just take a moment here. Thank you for creating this platform. I don't know how it came to you, if it was a vision, a dream, a thought, but thank you for being brave, courageous, and bold enough to act on it and to create this place where we can come and chit-chat about things.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the acknowledgement. So Cassandra, let's get into it. Tell us about who you are. First, I mean, you're a mom, your wife, so many things about you. Where do we begin?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many titles, you know, all the titles, all
one's
the
your
things. Child of God.
Oh,
yes. So that's number one. And I am a wife. We'll be married 16 years next month to my high school sweetheart. Really? Gerald is his name.
Oh, and he's right over there. Yes. Shout out to Gerald. That's beautiful.
I'm a mother of two beautiful girls. Lila is 8. She'll be 9 in June. Nice. That's very important to her.
Baby.
And then Bella is 13. She'll be 14 next month. So we are a full household. I'm also by day 9 to 5. I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for, this is year 17 or 18.
Wow.
I'm losing count.
Can't tell.
I work for the state of New Jersey out of the Attorney General's office. I'm an assistant section chief. So I supervise about 9 attorneys.
Oh, wow.
I also am an adjunct professor at Camden County College in the Paralegal Studies Department. I am, what else? I am a baker. You mentioned that, a baker by night and by like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hold on. How do you do that? How are you an attorney all day long and then you decided to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, just managing my time, number one. And two,
I just can't wrap my head.
Going after the desires of my heart. So my cake company is Lizzie's Love Cakes. My mother was Lizzie. This is a love letter to her and to all the women in my family. My mom, there were 9 sisters total out of her sibling group. So I have a cake named after each one of the sisters and a cake named after my grandmother. And they're Bunt Pound cakes. They're full of love. They're cakes of emotion. It makes you feel something.
Oh my gosh.
So I created that company at the urging of my husband. He is like my biggest cheerleader.
I love that.
In November of 2020. So it was a pandemic business.
Nice.
So yeah.
Beautiful.
So did that. What else do I do? Oh, I am the founder of the Hey Girl Conference.
Oh yeah.
All about women's empowerment, all about like living that authentic life, all about having safe spaces and being true to ourselves, our emotions, our experiences, our hurt, our joys. So that was founded again in the pandemic, November 2021. I turned 40 in the pandemic and it was just like, we don't have time to play around, Cassandra.
Right.
Like, this is the one act that you have. Let's do it. And it was an awakening. I was just like, you know, those desires of my heart that I talked about. I was like, I have them. Like, you legitimately have them. So why don't I just like unleash them? Let's go. And so I went. And so the Hey Girl Conference came. We were 100% virtual in 2021. Last year we were hybrid, and this year we're going to be 100% in person.
Let's go.
And
I'll be there.
What was that noise? Okay. So, and then lastly, I mean, I'm the youth leader at my church.
Really?
Faith is just so important to me. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me, it makes me secure. It keeps me tethered in this very complex world. So that's a big part of my life as well. So, I mean, that's the Cliff Note version of Cassandra. I mean, there's a whole bunch of chapters and layers, but that's the Cliff Note version.
Yeah, thank you for that. So let's get into it. Like, when and why did you want to be an attorney?
So I'll start off by telling you that I knew no attorneys growing up. I didn't have any role models as an attorney. I was suggested to go to law school by my college professor. I'm a psych major at the time, and it was Mrs. Riley. She
Shout out to Mrs. Riley.
Right? She was just like, Cassandra, I think you would be a good attorney. I said, wait, what? Who, me? Who are you talking to? And that was the impetus, if you will, for me to even apply to law school. So it wasn't like a long held tradition, a line of attorneys in my family. Right. It wasn't a goal that I had always. It was something that someone else saw in me.
I love that.
And I listened.
That's a similar story for me in college. I was doing business administration, which also is pretty like relevant today, but I really wasn't like connecting with my classes and professors. And then one of my sorority sisters said, you should do TV and like broadcasting. And I wasn't confident enough like to be behind the camera yet or in front of the camera. So I settled for public relations, but I felt like that was more my way. Yeah. And I would have never seen that unless someone said that to me and showed me that I'm capable of that. Yeah. So I love that.
My belief system is I think that God sends people to you. And it could be someone who's long standing in your life, a relative, or just a stranger with a message just for you. And sometimes you're ready to receive it. And sometimes it's like 5 years later and you're like, I get it now. So I believe that Miss Riley, your sorority sister, they were sent to us with a specific message. And look at us.
For sure. Yeah, right now. Doing what we're supposed to do, walking on our path. Yes. That's beautiful. And so where did you go to school to be an attorney?
Thomas Cooley Law School in Lansing, Michigan. I went away. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so I went out there.
Yes, for our growth, right?
Yes, to carve out my own little niche in this world. So I went there for 3 years, and I came back, and I've been an attorney since 2005.
That's amazing. Yes. And after that, how long did you attend law school?
3 years.
Really? I always had this like idea that it was like 5 or 8 years. Just 3 years?
It's 3 long years.
Oh yeah, you know? Yeah, I can imagine.
It's a lot of studying, a lot of reading. My eyesight was ruined after law school, but it just teaches you how to manage stress and manage time.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what like area do you focus on?
Yeah, so I do child welfare law. Right. And I would say that I was meant to be a child welfare attorney because of my background. See, it all kind of comes full circle. So I grew up with foster brothers and sisters. Oh, nice. My parents were foster parents in Pennsylvania for years. We probably had over 50 to 60 kids in our care throughout the time.
God bless your parents. Such big hearts.
Oh, my goodness.
I love that.
And I had 3 siblings biologically, and then all the foster brothers and 50, sisters.
60
oh, my goodness.
That's beautiful.
We would get sibling groups. We would get children that had some behavioral issues just because of trauma and what they were exposed to. And my 2 younger sisters happened to be adopted. They are my sisters.
Oh, nice.
You can't tell me nothing different. And so that was in me. So when I first came out of law school, I did insurance defense work, like hit and run, slip and falls. And I was like, there's something more. I was looking for that fulfillment. Yes. Yeah. And I stumbled upon the Attorney General's office in New Jersey and this child welfare section. And that's where I've been since 2008.
Wow. Yep. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
What were like some of like your big struggles throughout your like journey as an attorney?
Well, as an attorney,
so I can imagine it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm not taking it home with you.
Yeah.
You know, because you see the underbelly. You see people at their worst. There are a lot of people that are just trying to make it, and then they have a child that they're responsible for, and it's a lot. Some people don't have coping skills because they were never taught them. They were never
emotional
exposed to them. Yeah. And they're just doing the best with what they got. Isn't that Mariah Carey? I'm doing the best with what I got. Yeah. And sometimes children suffer because of that. And just being able to delineate that line between my work life and my personal life was a struggle early on. But, you know, you start to master that because I need to have some of Cassandra left for my husband, for my kids, for my community. So I would say I would identify that as an early struggle for me.
How do you stay grounded? Like, do you have like certain practices that you do? I know faith is a big one for you, and also running, right?
Yes.
You're into running?
Yes. A little something. Yes. So I would say grounding activities for me are, I like to meditate. I learned how to do that in the pandemic.
Oh, good.
So that is helpful. Of course, my faith. They keep me grounded. My church family, just God is like awesome. Like he just is.
Right.
My support system, I have a circle of friends. I call them sister angel friends.
I love that.
It's like a whole nother level.
Oh, I get it.
So they are my people. They get me, and each one of them offers something to me that I don't have within myself, and I so appreciate them for that. So that's kind of how I ground myself. But I will tell you that, just to be transparent, I'm feeling the spirit of transparency.
Let's go, let it out.
You know, I feel like I'm beginning to live a more elevated life. And I think about how I got to this place. It didn't come overnight. It didn't come in a year or 2 years. I was stuck for a while. And I casually in my head call it my stuck story. So if you will, I would like to share with you my stuck story.
Give us the juiciness.
Yeah, so let's take it back to September of 2014.
Okay.
Excuse me, let's take it back even further, September of 2012. So my father was turning 70, the big 70, on September 27, 2012. So, of course, my mom and I were planning a surprise birthday party because that's what we did. My mom was like super creative, and thankfully I got those genes to seep into me.
Nice.
So we were planning for the 70th birthday party. And my mom just happened to have a double knee replacement, arthroscopic. We're going to come in, fix these knees. And she was doing her rehab in the hospital. Everything was going good. So about 4 days before my dad's 70th birthday, my mom started having complications and she passed away. So it was unexpected.
Suddenly?
Yeah, it was unexpected. And
I'm so
that's what I
sorry.
call the untethering. So I appreciate you saying sorry. The untethering of Cassandra in this world. She was that safety blanket. She was that anchor that kept me grounded. So that happened. And I felt like I started to get stuck emotionally. But I couldn't afford to do that because
so much.
there's a business side of someone passing away. So I had to get into the estate, the taxes, the property. But also my youngest sister was 15 at the time. My dad was about to turn 70. And was he a well-kept man by my mother.
Oh, man, I bet.
And it was a month shy of their 45th wedding anniversary. So they had been together for a very long time. So all of a sudden, I became a sister mother to my 15-year-old sister because she came to live with my husband and I.
Oh, that's nice.
Shortly thereafter, my dad came to live with my husband and I. I was still a wife, a mother to my eldest at the time. I was still working, still thinking I'm killing it, right? Still putting on the mask every day.
Yeah, all the hats.
And so it was challenging because I didn't know that I had reached my capacity. I didn't even know what capacity was because I can do all things, right?
Yeah, powerhouse.
Who do you think you're messing with? I'm Cassandra. I do it all. I was wounded, I was hurt, I was broken, I was sad, and I didn't even realize it.
You didn't even know how to express it because you ain't got the time.
So it's September of 2012, and a few months later, my husband and I got pregnant. I was like, oh, this is great. This is the pick-me-up that our family needs. More love, not just for me, for the family. And so about like a little over 3 months, we go in for a regular routine visit, and there's no heartbeat. So then I had to have a D&C. They had to remove my baby from me because I was over 3 months. And thank you. And I remember waking up from anesthesia. It was just my husband and I. And I remember repeating, I want my mom. I want my mom. And he's just looking at me. And my husband has big, bright, full eyes. And those eyes were just locked in on me. And I just kept saying, I want my mom. I want my mom. And so we grieved in silence because only him and I knew. So all right,
that's tough too,
right? I'm still going on. I'm still continuing the process of getting stuck, right? Because I'm not dealing with the emotions that I have, and it's so interesting because in September of 2014, almost 3 days to the 2-year anniversary of my mother passing away. My dad is living with me, and about 4 days until his birthday, his 72nd birthday. He's in the basement of my house. That's where his room was. And he has a massive stroke and dies like that day.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember as he was starting to have the stroke, I saw the signs and the symptoms. He wasn't responding to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, I think daddy is having a stroke. I'm like, all right, call 911. And I can remember the sound of the gargle of him trying to remember his brain, trying to tell him how to breathe, and his brain not communicating that anymore. And the paramedics came, and I remember the ambulance outside of the house, and I'm standing on the front step, and it's in the wee hours of the morning because we were both early risers, right? And so I'm standing there, and I see the ambulance start to do like a slow sway left to right. Then it becomes more violent, intentional, and aggressive as they're administering CPR to try to get his heartbeat. And they did, but he died later that day. And when I tell you the sense of like, I needed my mom. I needed my dad. Like I needed her. I needed him. I needed my baby. Like I needed all of them. And here I am. So you know what I did? I got busier being stuck.
Oh no.
I got busier putting the mask on. I was killing it at work. I took on the professor job.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm Professor Burnett. They called me Prof B. I was the cool professor, right? I feel like I stepped into like my EGOT area. What is it? Emmy, Grammy.
Oscar.
I don't sing, so it was like a spoken word album. Okay. Oscar and Tony. I was like doing my Viola Davis. I was performative. But on the inside, if you could do a split screen, this was me. And I feel like apathy set in. You know, that indifference, you know, suppressing your emotions. And I kind of think about, this is how my mind works. I don't know if you ever saw the Never Ending Story, but with Atreyu, Falcor, the Luck Dragon, the antagonist was the nothing, because the nothing was coming to consume Fantasia. And it's so funny because Fantasia for me represented imagination, creativity, light, desires, wishes. And the nothing was, remember it was like dark and it was a cloud. I remember it was like a big jet black wolf with teeth that was like trying to get Atreyu.
Wow. Bring it back.
Yes. And I remember like the sadness swamp. Remember his horse got stuck and it was like black tar and he was going down in his sadness. I forget the horse's name, Atar, something like that. But that's how I felt. I was being consumed by my emotions. I was suffocating by my emotions that I wasn't allowing myself to feel. I wasn't trusting myself. That was clear. And I wasn't trusting God. It was like, what if I go there and I don't come back? What if I go there and let myself feel and I don't recover? I wasn't trusting. So the nothing was getting me. And in November 20th, 2014, at 34 years old, I had a mini stroke.
What?
The physical manifestation of me being stuck emotionally. I could not talk. I was locked within myself. I could observe the world and I could not speak.
And here you are, young, healthy, fully functional, and that can happen.
Stopped me in my tracks. I stopped talking for about an hour. So really, let me pose this question to you. What life events, what situation are you stuck in right now? And to your audience, what are you stuck in right now?
What are you avoiding? What are you not feeling? And it could be something from way long ago. So give the audience some advice. How did you get unstuck?
Yeah, so I would say, first I had to get real with myself. It's almost like my first lady says, you gotta sometimes ask God to reveal you to you. Reveal me to me. And what is revealed to you, you may not like. But you just gotta get real. I wasn't being real. I wasn't being authentic. I was being fake. I was being phony. I was, but on the inside, I'm like, melancholy.
Yeah.
But nobody would know because Cassandra, she always has it together. She's always put together. Her kids are wonderful. House and all. No. So you have to get real. You got to call a thing a thing. If you are hurt or wounded, I am hurt, I'm wounded, I'm broken.
And that's okay.
And I'm sad. I miss my mom and dad. It is what it is. So get real with yourself. I would say number 2, get your support system. It could be a person. It could be a crew of people.
It could be therapy.
that's going to be number 3 because I believe in Jesus and therapy. That's just me. Okay.
I just got a therapist and I'm so proud.
Yes.
I always thought like, I'm pretty well put together. I'm aware, but it's nice to have someone outside of my network to hear me.
We all have things that we need to work on. We all have more out there for us. And we can get there.
And you know what is important about therapy and having a support system that we don't realize is we literally give ourselves space to take on more. Like give your heart space because you're removing the baggage. Otherwise, like sometimes you can't take on more. And people look at you and they look at me and they say, how can you do so many things? It's because we give ourselves space. And a lot of people can't even, do so much. So like, how do you do that? You have to let it out. Write, journal, sing, dance, move your body.
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Do what makes you feel alive. Yeah. Because otherwise you're not feeling alive. You can just die, not live.
Yes. And I want to live a full life.
Exactly.
I want to be able to have an impact in this world, leave my imprint. I want my children to know why I existed when I'm not here anymore and be very clear on that. So in order to do that, we have to kind of get free of the things that are holding us back and weighing us down. There's a lot of us that are walking out here, and every step we take feels like 300 pounds. We're still walking. You still see us, but it's a labored walk. Yeah. And only we know it. Only we feel it. So I would say get real. Reveal me to me. Get your support system. Get some therapy. And for me, like faith is everything for me. Yeah. And oh my goodness, for a while after my mother passed away, I could not go into a church.
Really?
Because every time I went into a church, I was sitting on the front pew of my mom's funeral service, and it was messing me up. And it didn't even have to be the church that my mom's service was at. It could be any church. And I would just be a pile of tears. Yeah. It hurt. Like it physically hurt. Like if I could describe like heartbreak pain, like I know what it feels like now. Like it hurt. My heart was broken.
Literal pressure on your chest, like
my heart was
emptiness.
Broken. So I did not go to church for about 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
After my mother passed away, because I just couldn't. And then when my dad passed away, I was like, forget about it. Like I just can't because I'm just so focused on what I lost that I didn't realize what I gained. Because I say like I needed my parents. I need my parents. The reality I'm starting to understand is that they never left me. That they're always present. The lessons that they taught me, the wisdom that they imparted on me, the love that is just, it's on me. Like, I feel like you can feel me emotional. And Herb.
Yeah, like, and I feel like my mom's presence is here, and I can relate so much. Like, whenever I do something that, reminds me of her or something that I know she'd be proud of, I feel her being proud of me. I feel her smiling at me. I feel her telling everybody about me, and I know that she's still there, and I feel that connection. I feel her inside of me. Like, when I do something that reminds me of my mom, I'm like I can almost talk to her like, I know you would have did the same thing. You would have said the same thing. You like that, Mom? Like, it's so real. Yeah, they never leave us, and their legacy lives on through us and through your kids. Yes. And the impact you leave on this world. Hey Girl Conference, all your businesses. And I love your business. I love that you did that for your family. I think that's so beautiful.
It helped heal me. Yeah. That cake company helped me address the grief and started the healing process for me.
So healthy.
Because it's like, you have to kind of reassociate your brain, like the neurons in your brain.
Who am I without them? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, wait, we are all together.
Because I know that we don't stay the same. But we're not this stagnant type of being in this world.
Right.
We're learning, we're growing, we have successes, we have failures, and it's okay that I've changed. Like I'm changed, and I am still changing.
For the better.
It's not over yet.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just like really getting to the surface of things. Ooh. We haven't even gotten deep. Oh, there's much more to come from Cassandra.
Absolutely.
You got to worry about me when I start talking in the third person.
I love it.
Oh, there's much more to come with Cassandra.
I love it. Yeah, we were just talking before the cameras about how great it is to be in your 40s. I'm 30 now, and I was telling you that I really can't wait for my 40s. Like, I can only imagine the progression of who I will be by then. And if you don't mind me sharing, 40,
Oh, yes.
42 and beautiful and
thank
bold
you.
and strong and powerful and entrepreneurial and doing all these things. I love to see it. I love
And
it.
I received that because for a while there in my adult life, I couldn't take a compliment. I would bat
Really?
it down.
Stop.
I'm like, oh no, it's just, this is what I do. Or, it's no big deal. When it was like a heavy, big lift
Aw.
and, it took a lot out of me.
Yeah,
I
receive
wouldn't
it.
take compliments, but I received them now.
Okay.
And I try to figure out, like, what was that? Like, was it humility or was it that I was afraid to own who Cassandra was? I was even afraid of my own power. Like, because we are very powerful.
Yeah.
Because God, like, distributes gifts. And we have gifts, plural,
Period.
that are within us that are just waiting to be unlocked.
So real.
And
And it takes courage
it does.
to just walk in who you are with conviction and confidence and a smile.
Yes. And I see it in you. There's
And that's
so
why we're
much
here.
more.
Yes.
Like, we talk about chapters in our life. There are volumes. Forget chapters of TIFF
that's
that are
good.
yet to come.
That's good.
Unlock it, girl. Unleash it.
Thank you. Will do. En route. En route. So let's get into this Hey Girl conference. It's coming up in May 13th, right?
Yes.
In
May 13th.
Philly.
Yes.
Woo. What can we expect from Hey Girl conference?
Yeah, so Hey Girl Conference is a place where you can be authentically you. And so it was born out of that need that I felt for spaces for women like me, who look like me, who live like me, who've experienced like me, to be. Because, Tiff, we went over all the titles
always
in the
doing.
beginning. Yeah.
Can we just be?
It's like you just want to like unbutton the top button of your pants and
Right.
just like slouch
Take the bra
down,
off, Right.
Um,
Love that.
And also that desire to have spaces where you feel supported, because there are so many times in my life where I look back, and if I was in an office environment, in a meeting, and if I could have just looked up to the right, to the left, and I locked eyes with another woman and she just gave me the, hey girl, do you know how I would have showed up differently? More of myself. I would have given more because I felt like, all right, I'm not here by myself.
Yeah.
That is at the core of what the Hey Girl Conference is. It's a
Love
safe space.
That.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like, hey girl.
People don't realize how important community is, especially people like us that are drivers, that are powerhouses. And we're like, we don't need anyone. But like, we're so much better together, stronger together.
It's real. It's not
so
like a
real.
slogan. It's not a bumper
No.
sticker. It is real.
real.
Because I pull out of you, you pull out of me. And then what if we like join forces?
Yeah.
You know?
And I always talk about like healthy competition in a way. Like I pride myself, I would like to believe that I'm the type of woman that people want to give their best around me. Like they want to tell me their best ideas, or they want to show up a little bit more. I want that energy around me, because we all want to better ourselves. You know, you don't want to be the person that people just slack off around, or, you know, you want to be the role model, and then you rise up other leaders, and then that's the energy and legacy that you leave the world.
Yeah. I'm no longer afraid to let go of who I was to become who I'm meant to be.
Let's go.
I'm no longer afraid.
Same.
Because I used to hold on to old Cassandra because she served me well. Like she got me to this place. She was always reliable, but I am different. I feel it. I see it. People around me see it. So I'm letting her go. And that's one of the conversations we're having at the Hey Girl Conference. Acceptance. And also how to hold space for who you were and grieve her. We have to grieve her.
Love
to let
on
her
her.
go.
Thank you. You served me well.
And now I am transforming into someone
Now
else.
you must die. Here lies old Tiff, ready for the new Tiff.
So
Yes,
real.
So real.
And I didn't even know that I needed to do that until I knew that I needed to do that. Does that make sense? So yeah, so that's one of the subjects that we're going to talk about. So the Hey Girl Conference is going to go from 9 to 4 p.m.
Nice.
We
So
are
multiple
going to
workshops.
Yes, we
Love
call them
it.
conversation suites because we want to
I love
engage
that.
with one another. One of our main conversation suites in the afternoon is high function and depression in women.
Woo, say that again.
High function and depression in women, because we can come out and look like you and I, right?
Got it all together. Everything's great.
But I literally would have a crying session in my shower because that was my safe space. Or I
Same.
was
Or in the
walking
car.
around with like just a heavy headache that was debilitating. My vision was blurred, but I was still showing up in court, knocking out my trials, doing witness prep.
Listen,
you know,
kudos to you. Kudos to you for being high functioning during that time. And still, I'm sure you showed up wonderfully for your husband and kids.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing in itself, even though you struggle, because you know what? Life is painful. We are going to suffer. There's no life without suffering. So the fact that you had the strength to do that, like, kudos to you.
Seriously. I thank you for that. I receive that. I do. And also, I now realize hindsight that I truly wasn't knocking it out the park like I thought I was.
Yeah.
Because the whole Cassandra, the healed or healing Cassandra, could have brought much more, you know? And when I think about it, you know, I withdrew. I was in my room a lot.
You had your process.
You know? So, and I'm thankful for the grace that I now give to myself. Because I used to hold myself to such a high standard.
What a word.
And I give myself grace now. And it's beautiful.
That word feels good, doesn't it? Grace. That's a big one for me too. And I think expectations are a killer for a lot of us. You know, we have these high expectations for ourselves, and when we don't meet our own expectations, it's like, oh, it hurts so bad. But I know right now, for me, I'm in a space where I really accept myself. I accept myself for what I look like. I remember me 2 years ago would have picked at every little flaw I see to be this close up in camera. But now I feel like I'm perfect in who I am. Like, I accept being imperfect. I accept having flaws. I accept messing up. I'm okay with it. And that's what makes me brave. You know, it's taken so much out of me to show up, to speak. I remember in college, I literally couldn't speak in a class of 20 people. I would sweat. I would stutter. It was so hard for me. And now I've joined Toastmasters, a nonprofit public speaking organization that I love. And I'm doing this. And I'm just so proud of who I've become because I had the courage to be vulnerable and to go through those pains of growth.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah. You're living an authentic life. Yeah. And it is freedom on the other side of that. Freedom.
Yeah. You don't got to be so hard on yourself. You got to give yourself grace. Like, this is who we are. This is what we're working with. And we can only get better from here if we choose.
Yes. Yes.
If we choose.
I love it. And I applaud your choice.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we talk about choices earlier. We were talking about how, like, women supporting women. And I love that your conference is intentional because I see a lot of like networking events out there and like they'll ask you to be a speaker or they'll invite you, but it's really not, you know, soul fulfilling.
Oh, I love that. That's my new phrase.
Soul fulfilling. Oh, perfect.
I love it.
Perfect.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, when you distill it down, it's about women's empowerment, but it's so much more. It's about, like I said, that safe space where I can let down my guard, reveal myself to other women, and see other women revealing themselves to me.
Yeah.
And making those real connections with each other. So we try to tap into the mind, body, and soul. So for the body part, we have a live yoga flow.
Yay.
And we're going to go through talking about
who's teaching. Curious.
So we have two teachers.
Nice.
Yogis. We have Tara M. Cuff, and we also have Shakur Parker. They've been with us last year, and they're coming back again this year to do the live yoga flow. And for the mind, we're going to talk about high functioning depression in women. We're going to talk about how to grieve our former selves. And we're going to also talk about the value, necessity, importance of dreaming at any age, at any station in life. With any and all the accomplishments that you have. You could be a PhD doctor and you still have dreams.
Yeah.
Go after it.
Yeah.
You could have a dream that you have zero experience in. Go after it. So we're going to talk about that as well.
I love that.
We're going to have conscious cocktails by our mutual friend.
Drew?
Yes. Gym Life Bar. She's sponsoring our conscious cocktails.
Shout out to Drew.
Yes, we love Drew.
We love Drew.
Oh, she's beautiful. Inside and out. Just all the way around.
Yes.
So we're doing that. We have a morning host is NBC's meteorologist, Brittany Schiff.
Ooh,
and our afternoon host is the one and only Sheldon Barlett Rumor of This Is It TV. Day. Yes.
Yay.
She's
Know her
all about
too. She's so
remarkable
great.
women, right? So
Great
she's going to
energy.
be there. Oh my goodness. We have
best.
all women-owned vendors.
Let's go.
We are going to have
doing
brunch
it.
for you. We're going to have a live podcast, the Brittany Smith podcast. She's going
Sweet.
to be there. So it's a day full
Exciting.
of a whole body experience, and it's all about elevation. Our theme this year is going up, and it's been a progression. Our first year, the theme was I see you. We had to reveal ourselves.
I love that.
We had to be seen and see each other. Last year, the theme was choose life. So we had to reveal ourselves, and now we have to choose the life that we want to live.
I love it.
And now that we've chosen the life that we want to live, let's elevate it. Let's
it.
lift it up. So it's going up this year. And elevation is about...
We going up and stuck.
Uh-oh. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Hashtag up and stuck.
There you go. Yup. I'm using it.
So it's about improving, lifting up. It's not about I'm better than you at all.
Right.
It's about pouring into each other emotionally, spiritually, morally, all the lees,
All
you
of
know?
that. And then making friends. And you could say, hey, girl, I like your business. I think we should collaborate.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for that.
Yes. So we're
Yes.
very excited.
Yes. Beautiful. And so what do you see for the future of Hey Girl Conference? Do you see it going nationally, internationally? Let's start claiming something right now.
Yeah. So right now I'm in this space of I love the intimacy of it.
Okay.
Because people
I
are
do
just
love
like
that.
real, and they share like things that they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know you. I don't know why I'm sharing this with you, but I'm sharing it with you. So I want to keep that.
And locally is nice too, because we can really support each other, like pop up at our shop, buy your
Yes,
cakes.
yes.
You know?
So this is really for the women in the tri-state area, so New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania. So what I see for the future of the Hey Girl Conference is about expansion of the impact. I want to see more women live their authentically free life. I want women to get free, because a free woman,
Change the world. Change their world.
Girl.
And it just keeps going.
and it like you just did a circle, it like creates a ripple effect.
Exactly.
Not only to your circle, but to your circle, not only for your generation, but for your
kids.
generation's generation, right? So that's what I kind of see. Maybe it will be international, but I really want to focus on the tri-state area right now. So that's what I see.
That's
just
beautiful.
that ripple effect. Yep. Like, girl, you hear about that Hey Girl Conference? Yeah, I
Right.
did.
Yes. And so where can people find you? Or like if they want to attend Hey Girl Conference, where would they go for tickets?
So you go to heygirlconference.com. All the information is there. The speakers, the agenda.
love that name.
Hey Girl.
Hey girl.
And we're on Facebook and the Instagrams. I put an S on the end of it. The Instagrams, Hey Girl Conference. Everything is Hey Girl Conference. The tickets are on the website. The cost is $129 for the full day, brunch included. We have the swaggiest of the swag bags out there. And I do have a special discount code for your viewers and listeners.
Why, thank you.
So in all caps, Hey Girl, Hey 2023. So 2023. Hey Girl, Hey 2023. That'll give you $10 off.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate that. And how about your cake business? Where can people buy your
Yes.
cakes? And I'm sure you do like events or like all types of cakes.
So we are a Bunt Pound Cake company. I'm an online bakery. I ship nationwide.
Nice.
I do pop-ups in New Jersey and Philadelphia. Our website is lizzieslovecakes.com. On the Facebook and the Instagrams. It is Lizzie's Love Cake, so you can reach out to me there. I have pop-ups scheduled for April, May, all the way
beautiful.
to June. So you can catch me at a pop-up, or you can order online and I'll ship it to you.
Which is your favorite cake?
The original, the OG, my mom's
Lizzie.
7-Up pound cake with the 7-Up soda in it. It is
Really?
a Southern delicacy.
Oh,
So
heard.
that is the original Lizzie Love Cake, my mom's recipe. Yep.
Very
That's my
nice.
favorite. It just reminds me of home.
I love that.
does.
That's so beautiful. And Cassandra, is there anything else you would love to share with the audience or leave with them? You said
I
so
would
many great
say,
things.
Yeah. So recently, a woman said to me that, capacity and capability are two different things. And that stuck with me. And so we have capability to do many things, Tiff. We are multi-layered, multifaceted, multi-talented. I have the capability to do a lot of things, as do you, as do your audience. But should we, or do we have the capacity to do those things? And I really want your audience to think about that. All the things that I have going on, all the fingers that are out there into all the things. Should I be doing that? Do I have the capacity to do that? Because you said something earlier, when you remove certain things, you could be more.
You can do more.
So just think about that. Although I can do it, should I be doing it?
That's so real. That goes back to being real with yourself and do I have space for it? Do I and what is the outcome that I want to give? What is the impact you want to impart?
Yep.
You know, a lot of times we have these great ideas, but for what?
Yep.
What's the bigger meaning? Because we only have one life.
That's it.
And we should really just go hard for those things that have the best results and best return.
Yes, go hard for those. Yes.
Yeah, and I love that you found yours and you're doing it so well. And it's been a pleasure to connect with you. I'm looking forward to the Hey Girl Conference and for our friendship moving forward.
Yes.
So thank you again for being a guest today. I know this won't be the last time we see each other. And again, I commend you for the woman you are. I'm so glad that our audience can see a representation of an attorney, a mother, a wife, a business owner that looks like you, that is you. And I hope that you have a great turnout at the Hey Girl Conference. Use my code HeyGirlHey 2023 for $10 off. Cassandra, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Oh,
So good. Thank you.
oh, so good.